Hello, everybody, and welcome to our second installment of Ask the AD. I'm Paul Grua, the Director of Athletic Communications here at Weber State, and joined today again by Jerry Bovee, our Athletic Director. We're going to try to do this every few weeks or so to get some questions to ask the AD and kind of get an update on how things are going here at Weber State Athletics. Jerry, just this week, we'll start off with a couple of legends in college basketball that passed away, in Dean Smith and Jerry Tarkanian.
Yeah, I just saw that on the Twitter feed about Jerry Tarkanian. You know, it got me thinking about when I first started my career at Utah State. I was doing game operations, and the night of the infamous water bomb that happened, so some students had gotten under the floor, created this water bomb on a timer. UNLV comes out, and they've got Larry Johnson and Stacey Ogman and Anderson Hunt and Greg Anthony, all these guys. They're huddled right over this vent, and right at halftime, this bomb goes off, and it was blue sugar water that sprayed all through their huddle, and Jerry Tarkanian had on his infamous short-sleeved white shirt with the dark tie, and his shirt turned blue, and he was dripping wet with his towel in his mouth and wiping it down, and walked up, and I could tell. I thought, oh, he's fried. Walked up the tunnel. They kind of got changed up. He came back in a T-shirt, and luckily for him, he came back to the students and kind of gave him a little salute and clapped like, "Good, yeah, that's a good one." And then they proceeded to whack the Aggies that night with, covered in sticky sugar water. So that came to my mind when I saw that he had passed away. It's one of my only experiences with Jerry Tarkanian. You have one with Dean Smith.
Well, Dean Smith coached in 1986 at the NCAA tournament and was held at the D-Event Center as well. So he's been through here, and Jerry Tarkanian, Weber State played them in 1979 and beat him with Bruce Collins on that team. So let's talk a little bit about Weber State basketball. Both the men's and women's teams winding down the final stretch of Big Sky play here, getting ahead, of course, ready for the Big Sky tournament. There's been some news about the Big Sky Conference tournament coming up in the next 3 years that they're looking to bid to perhaps change the format, and they've accepted some bids. Seven places have put in a bid. Can you talk about that? Weber State is involved there.
Actually, yes. We did put in a bid to host. It's a 3-year bid commitment, and I think we put together a very competitive bid. Ogden's unique. As you know, we all love Ogden, but the other schools in our conference, there's some unique things that make this a very palatable place to hold our tournament. One is that 11 of the 12 schools in our conference can get here without a layover flight. Only North Dakota, and I don't know that they can get anywhere without a layover flight. So that travel-wise, it's very convenient. We have a hub here with the Delta Hub in Salt Lake. We have plenty of hotel space. There's entertainment space. We would put ski packages together. The Downtown Alliance and the Chamber of Commerce, all those have been involved in helping us put this together. The City Council, the Weber County, what do you call it, the council or the commissioners have been involved, the mayor, even the governor wrote a letter. So we're hopeful that that this will be the place that we want to come. I just got off a conference call where this was discussed, and I expect by the end of the day that the Big Sky Conference will put out a press release. They have pared down their decisions, and we are in the mix. So site visits are next. Within the next 3 weeks, I think we'll have a travel party come into town to do a site visit. They've obviously been here before, and the conference is housed here, but they're going to go to all the 5. I think we've pared down to 5 on different criteria. So we're in the mix, and we got a good chance to get this.
There's different opinions about the conference tournament, whether you should have it at all, whether all teams should be there, if the host team. And I know also the presidents have different opinions, the coaches have different opinions, and the ADs might have opinions too. So how does it all work out?
You know, I can see both sides of that argument. On some respects, you might say, well, yeah, why would you even have a conference tournament? For us, it's not really a moneymaker. For the SEC, maybe the ACC, they do make a good amount of money that the conference takes in. But for us, I think the biggest reason to even look at having a conference tournament would be the fact that everybody's got a shot to get in. So you get halfway through the season. 2 years ago, when it was Montana and Weber State, and clearly everyone else was a distant third, you could make the argument that it was a 2-horse race, and everybody else, there's no motivation to really get going every night other than just for the love of the game, which should be enough. But certainly having a conference tournament where everybody, or at least 8 schools this year, have a chance to get to the NCAA tournament motivates those other teams to play hard every night, and the level of play during the season should be better conceptually.
So the plan is, I believe, to have it announced in early March for the future for the next 3 years. So
Yeah, I think that those site visits may push that back. I expect maybe now April 1st might be more of right around the time maybe of the NCAA Final Four is probably a better time frame for them to announce that.
One more thing that has been on the topic a little bit nationally is it's called cost of attendance and how that's going to affect some institutions and some conferences. You're involved in some committees on the NCAA. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, this has been a real polarizing issue. It really started a couple years ago when there was legislation that was put forward to allow a $2,000 stipend to be given to athletes that not to exceed the cost of attendance. Every university has a figure that they call their cost of attendance, and it's really the figure that encompasses everything to do with school, including room, board, food, housing, books, any cost that would be associated. Our full scholarships fall under that cost, and most do around the country. So there's a belt of potential resources that could be used there. It was passed and then defeated in an override vote by the membership. So now what you have coming from that is all the Autonomy 5, the Power 5 conferences that have kind of broken off and have their own ability to make rules that meet their needs. They're doing that now. And I really think that's a result of that whole cost of attendance argument that happened a year ago. It's now filtered down to us. And so we've got to decide where do we fit here. And it's a nervous issue because the resources, there's no new resources to do this. It's going to happen at the Power 5 conferences, those Big Five. What it means for us still remains to be seen, but there's a lot of discussion going on about it right now.
Yeah, it certainly has been a big topic. Well, it's coming down again, an exciting time of year as we get ready for March Madness for basketball. We got the Hall of Fame coming up at the end of February. Just finished signing day with football with 32 signees for the football team. So, again, it's sports. Spring sports are going on with tennis and softball and track and field. It's an exciting time. Golf as well.
It really is. I talked to Jay this morning. It looks like we could have one more come along to get to 33. Last year we were at 34. I think you're the stats guru here, but it might be the two biggest signing years we've had maybe ever. So we're excited about that. A really good class. 10 or 12 of those kids will go on mission. So next year we'll begin to see the signing class from last year begin to come home and get into a little bit better rotation as far as that goes. I'm excited about it. We got a lot of in-state kids. I mean, our in-state signees in football have really gone up dramatically. So, and Jay committed to that when he came here and really feels strongly that we can be successful there. So that's great. Hall of Fame is always a fun weekend. We've got Dave Arslanian, coach. He's the only coach in the mix, and then we've got some athletes that we'll honor. That's going to be an exciting time. We hope people will come out to that. And it's really just a great time to be involved in the program. Coach, we've got a candidate in today. A football coach candidate, losing Justin Enna to Utah. So we've got coaches on campus to fill that role. There's always things going on to keep.
There's never a slow moment for you, is there?
Or you, I hope, right?
Or any of us, I guess. But it's an exciting time. So again, thank you for joining us for our second installment of Ask the AD. If you have any questions or things you'd like to asked, please let us know. You can tweet us at Weber State. You can also follow us on Twitter. And Jerry, you have a Facebook page as well, a fan Facebook page.
I do. I made the switch to, not that I have any fans, but it's a little easier in that setting. And I don't know a lot about it, but I do have a fan page. That's so weird to say. And I've got people already liking it, and we're having discussions.
You're a public figure, and that's good.
Yeah,
we're public figures. We're also going to do a Twitter takeover coming up in February as well for Jerry Bovee. So, again, more questions coming up. Follow us on Weber State for all our social media and also WeberStateSports.com, and go Wildcats.
Thanks. Go Wildcats.